Welcome to You Can Do It. Today we're looking at a spare wheel and wheel carrier for a VW T5.1 this is, but these newer VWs are great vehicles, love them to bits, but they're starting to come without a spare wheel, without a jack, and they come with a little pump and sealant fluid that you put in if you get a flat tire. That's great if you've just got a little small flat tire, but if you get a gash in the side of the tire or something that you can't repair on the side of the road, then you're stuck. So call me old-fashioned, but I like to have a good old spare tire which I can take out, jack the vehicle up and change. So yeah, unfortunately you have to then buy these parts separately to your vehicle. So what exactly do you need to put one of these on? So you need to get yourself a wheel. I'm lucky I've got a lot of these sitting around, so I've got a spare wheel. You need to get the spare wheel hanger. This wheel hanger here, which you can see, there's the part number, but to be honest, these are not a lot, so just go to VW. I mean, you can buy them on the internet for 40, 50 pound, but if you go to VW, they're only about 60 quid anyway, and they're all brand new. You need the pin. This is a little pin, which again I get from VW. And yeah, you could improvise and use something else, but I'm trying to make it all original. So, and then you need two of these, but I've only got one, which I will I'll pick another one up from the dealer, but one will do at the moment. That's just to hold this carrier up into the car. Obviously you need to get yourself a jack. That's a genuine brand new VW jack I've got, and then a little bit of foam and some gaffer tape, which we'll come to later. But basically this pin doesn't have any way of holding it in other than usually a bit of foam behind it to push it out, and you can't get that from the dealer or anywhere, so I'm just going to improvise with something. But that's all you need, and then you've basically put that up into the underneath the car, which we'll do in a second, and then you're going to have a full spare wheel, and you're much more capable of getting yourself out of trouble should you get a flat tire on the road. So let's get on and do it. Now we're underneath the vehicle. So this is a 2014 model. So there's the hanger bracket. Obviously you haven't got a spare wheel here or anything, it's just all empty, so we're going to have to connect that the hanger that I've extension arm, which I've bought from VW. We'll hang that up, and then we can just put the spare tire up. You can see you've got your two bolt holes here for your bolts, so it's all done. It's a very simple job. Let's get on and do that. So yeah, we've put it on. There's two holes here, this one or this one. Depends how big your spare wheel is. So you either put it, if you put it in this top one up here, obviously you can take a bigger spare wheel, as in wider rim. Or if you put it up there, it'll be a narrow rim. So I probably actually need to be on the bottom one, but I'm going to put it on there just to see how we get on. So then you just literally slide that pin in. So the bit of foam which I've got is to put behind that to stop that sliding out while you're riding along. I mean, I can try and put a bend on the end of that pin, which otherwise I think VW originally just put a little bit, like almost like a bit of foam around there. So I was going to cut a bit of foam, put a bit of gaffer tape around it, and then that will do the job. If I put a bend on it, obviously it won't come out, but then if I need to change the position of this, if I change some big summer alloy wheels, then obviously I'm going to have a harder job getting that out. So I'm just going to stick with it. I'll try and do it the VW way. Okay, here we are. There's my trusty old bit of foam. I've cut a little piece like that, look, and I'm just going to wrap that with some gaffer tape just to make it a bit more sort of weatherproof and solid, and that will just slip behind that pin. Yeah, all done. I've sort of covered it with that. I mean, it's not perfect, but that'll do. It's sort of, that's what you want, and then that will hold that in. So let's go and fix it onto the car. So look, I'll put it there behind that pin, and then I'm going to slide this pin in. I need to put it down to do it, but I'll show you when it's finished. There she is, pretty much like the VW original. It's down there. That just puts enough pressure on that pin that you can't move the pin now, so I don't need to worry about that falling out. And now I can put the spare tyre on and get it all bolted up. Okay, we've slid the wheel on top of the carrier now. We just lift it up and put the bolt in there. This is the bolt. I've just put a bit of white grease on there just so it's got those little clips on the top. So once it goes in once it goes in there, it can't come out. So this is the bolt that you don't normally take out. This is the one that's sort of a safety one. So this has to go in like that. Now look, so it won't come out. Even once you've undone it all the way, look, it won't come out. Whereas the other one, you do have to, you take out when you take the spare wheel carrier, or you take your spare wheel out. So this one's always a security one. So I can tighten that up a little bit, look. So that's on there now, that's clipped up there. I can now just tighten that up, and then I'll have to go to the dealer and get a proper one there. Okay, so it's all up there nice and tight. I need to get obviously the other bolt for that, which I'll get shortly. But that's tight. I'll go straight to the dealers and get that. But this has got a little thing here to stop this coming. Even if this came loose, it wouldn't be able to swing off. But make sure you've got both bolts before you do it, unlike me. But yeah, that's it. You put your spare wheel on, you can do it.